Hello, my wonderful viewers. You are welcome to today's philosophy class. And in today's class, you are going to look at different types of philosophy and the 5 core branches of philosophy. There are so many philosophies. We have philosophy of mathematics, philosophy of science, philosophy of education, philosophy of environment. We have philosophy of language, philosophy of fear, philosophy of unity, philosophy of tourism, and many more. Anything that is worth knowing, anything that is worth studying, anything that is worth doing has its philosophy. So if anything that is worth knowing, worth studying, worth doing has its peculiar philosophy, then philosophy is important. Little wonder that in a tertiary institution, philosophy is made compulsory more often in year 1. Students are made to study philosophy and logic and history and philosophy of science. The reason is simple, so that they can know the principles, the rules that will guide them in their activities, not just in the school, but in life generally. So they are being taught the rudiments of philosophy, the fundamental ideas of philosophy. During this period, they are also exposed to the core branches of philosophy so that they may study the principles and how they can be applied in our everyday life. Philosophy is such important field of studies that even when you study anything you choose to study, when you study it to the level that the department recognizes you as somebody who have gotten sufficient knowledge of the field to stand and try to answer or solve some of the problems that may be coming out from that field. Upon the end of your studying in that field, they will now honor you with PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. Why is it Doctor of Philosophy? Because it is known that for you to stand as an authority to talk about a field of knowledge, you must be knowledgeable. And remember, philosophy is love for wisdom. So it is believed at that level you have gotten sufficient knowledge to be able to answer or solve certain problems that may arise from that field. So they will honor you with PhD. So philosophy exposes you to understand life in general. It helps you to be conscious of principles that should guide you in any field of endeavor. We do talk about having an ethics and philosophy. At times we say them unconsciously without really knowing the implication. When you say, I have my own way of life, this is how I do my thing. In a way, you are saying you have your own philosophy, the way you do your thing. And it is expected you are conscious of the rules, principles guiding that thing which you are doing, so that you can know the route to follow and achieve your goal. We have 5 core branches that help us in doing our businesses, in carrying out our daily lives. These 5 branches are epistemology. Epistemology is coined from the Greek word episteme and logos. Episteme means knowledge, logos means study within this context. So epistemology therefore means the study of knowledge. One will begin to wonder, how can someone study knowledge? Yes, in philosophy, they try to ensure that what you claim to know, you really know it. So, they want to know what you know. They want to know that you really know what you claim to know. So, they don't take things for granted. Epistemology will open you, your eyes, your mind, your eye thinking to know, to think deep, to go beyond the level you think you are. Remember, if we claim to know all, that should have put an end to study. But we keep studying because we know that there is a lot to be known. There's so much we do not know. So epistemology, through some critical questions, will open your mind to knowing more. After epistemology, we also have metaphysics. Metaphysics is a coinage from 2 great words, meta and physicio. Meta means after or beyond. Physicio means physical. So metaphysics simply means beyond the physical. So it has to do with the study of the transcendental things, abstract things, spiritual things, things that cannot be seen with their physical eyes. Things like spirit, God, love, fear, and what have you. Those things we cannot see. So you see how rich philosophy is. It has all what it takes to take care of all problems of life. So this aspect of philosophy deals with things you cannot see, deals with the study about God and the rest. We also have aesthetics. Aesthetics has to do with the science of beauty. In aesthetics, you are taught how to appreciate the things in your environment, the natural thing, the artificial thing. Appreciate other human beings. So, aesthetics help to inculcate in you the attitude of appreciation. So, it is a principle of life we should imbibe. You must learn how to appreciate things, how to appreciate people. So philosophy has room for you if you want to know how to appreciate things. We also have, as a branch of philosophy, ethics. Ethics is from the Greek word ethos, meaning customs. So ethics simply means customary way of doing things. The principle, it has to do with the principles of do's and don'ts. Those things you should do and those things you shouldn't do. It has to do with the what ought to be done, the oughtness of an action, the principles of do's and don'ts. So in ethics, you are taught on what is to be done at a given time and what that is not expected of you as a moral agent. Lastly, we have logic. Logic is from the Greek word logos. Logos means so many things. It can mean reasoning, word, ideas, account, study, and what have you. But in all, logic has to do with the science of reasoning. The science of reasoning. In logic, you will be taught on how to reason well, how to detect fallacies, how to know how an argument is sound and valid. What makes an argument to be both sound and valid? What makes an argument to be only valid but not sound? An argument is sound and valid when all the premises are true and the conclusion is also true. It can be valid but not sound when maybe one of the premises is false, but there is a logical content that makes that argument to be valid, even though not sound. Logic is very important in our everyday life. In the court, I swear to God has never win a case. You will not go to God and say, I swear I'm saying the truth. No. You have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Once you begin to prove beyond reasonable doubt, you are becoming logician. You are being logical. So if you don't have the knowledge of logic, how will you prove beyond reasonable doubt? Some statements are false, some are true. It is in logic that you know when a statement is true and when a statement is false. When I come your way next time, we'll pick on each of these branches and discuss them intensively so that we can understand these branches of philosophy and how we can apply them in our daily lives. Until then, do have a very wonderful day.